Pretty quiet, isn't it? Yeah. It's a pretty peaceful moment. I'm just outside of St. John, New Brunswick, on the Atlantic side of Canada. So far, the tail end of this summer, I've driven from the Pacific Ocean all the way across Canada to the Atlantic. It's been pretty cool. But I also had a very chilly night last night. It was 3 degrees in the van. 3 degrees, which is very chilly for the first time. When you first get that first winter chill, you're like, winter's coming. So that brings me to a video. I want to talk to those voices in your head. Yeah, not you. I want to talk to those voices in your head. You know, the ones that are like, you can't do it because it's cold where I live. You can't van life here because it gets to -30. All these excuses that you keep saying to me, I keep seeing in the comments, I get in emails, everything. Well, Chrome, you got it easy. You live in Vancouver, Canada. You can't van life like that where I live because I live in Chicago and it gets to be like -25. You can't do it here. It's exhausting to read. So it's got to be exhausting to have those thoughts and feelings in your head. So let's talk to those feelings. Let's also talk to those voices you hear. Well, you can't do it because you're going to freeze. I mean, you can't do it. You're going to freeze. You want to shut those voices up and just shove them out. They're not necessary nor needed. Listen, I've been in my van now for 2 winters. I started van life in September a couple of years ago, so I initially rolled right into wintertime. I lived it fine. No roof vent, very little insulation. I survived it just fine. Year number 2 in the van, I had the walls over my very little insulation because I barely have any insulation in my van, you guys. If I were to gut my van, you'd be like, what, Chrome, that's it? Thought you had to have like 2 inches. Nah. I got like a couple half-inch layer, well, a half-inch layer, pretty much a half-inch layer everywhere except for an inch on the roof. That's it. Pretty simple. Whatever. I have videos way back. You can watch those ones if you want to know. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about those voices in your head that say you can't do it. The reason why I feel like I need to voice this video is because I had the chance at El Campo to talk to people who live in their vans all over the place through freezing cold winters. First, guys, like, I live in Ontario in my van full time. I've been doing it for years. I'm like, winter? In the winter? Isn't like Ontario like winter time, like -30, -35 for like 5 months straight? He's like, yeah, pretty much. I'm like, well, how is it in the van? He goes, easy peasy. Why is it easy peasy? He's like, well, I got a Wave 6 heater. He has a bigger van. He goes, I have a Olympian Wave 6, keeps me good and warm. I let that thing run for most of the day, super good. No big deal. I'm like, you don't freeze. I'm like, I hear from everybody that in that temperature you can't do it. He's like, yeah, bullshit. Because I've been doing it for years. Then I met another couple that live in Ontario as well too. They've been doing it for years. No problems at all. I also met somebody who lives in Winnipeg in their van full time. That place is like a frozen tundra, like it's like stuck in the ice age. They're doing it, they're okay. Vancouver, I met people from all over the place. I also met Michael, the guy you met in the recent video from El Campo, the guy I hung out with for a few days while traveling. Well, he lives in Chicago. In the van, first winter, no problem, loved it. And here's why I want to talk about this. The unanimous thing across everybody that seems to be the same with everybody when I ask them, what are winters like? Well, winters are easy. What are summers like? Summers suck. I never hear you guys complaining about, well, I can't do it in Arizona because it gets to be like 100 degrees and you can't do it in the van because you're going to roast. I never hear that. Nobody ever complains about, well, it's hot where I live and I can't live in my van because it's hot. They always complain about that dreaded winter. It's not winter you need to fear. It's summertime is what you need to fear. Because on a hot summer night, it's hot and it's miserable and it's hard to cool your van. It's hard. It's gonna get an air conditioner or be ghetto fabulous and cut a hole in your side and ram that old school thing through it and make your van look like shit. Depends on what you want to do, but telling you guys, summer times are harder in the van than the winter. And everybody says this. It's easier to heat your van than it is to cool your van. making winters a lot more enjoyable. Sure, the adventure side of van life kind of slows down a little bit when you're doing it in the wintertime, because driving to places like this get to be a little bit more difficult. But most of the people I've talked to have a stationary job, or what they do is they plan their travels all summer long. They park it somewhere in the wintertime, well, not park it full-time in one spot, but park in one town for the entire winter, and then use that wintertime to work somewhere and replenish all their cash and all their money flow. Think about that. What if you're on the road full-time all year long? You find somewhere in the wintertime, you park it, you go work at a hotel for 6 months, and you just rake in the cash, stack it up in the bank, quit your job when the weather gets better, start the key, and boom, drive off. Sorry for the whole. Winters aren't as bad as you think they are, so you can take that voice in your head and just tell it to shut up. You have no right to say you can't do it in the winter unless you've tried it, done it, left it, and realized, I'm out. Does that make sense? So many people have these big, grand opinions about things they've never done. How can you have an opinion on something when you've never tried it yourself? Get out there and try it. Go. Even if you have to just go out and rent a converted van that's got a bit of insulation in it, go rent it for a week and go try it for a week. Go out in the depths of winter in the place you live in a converted van already. Please rent a converted one. Don't rent a blank cargo van because it's empty and doesn't have any insulation or no way. It's going to be wet in there, I'm telling you. Once you breathe in an empty van, it's going to drip raindrops on you. It's going to be miserable. But go rent one of those little converted camper vans. There's tons of companies out there that have one. Go rent one for a week in the winter and try it. If you happen to leave that week going, it's not for me. It's not because you can't do it. It's just because maybe van life isn't for you. Ever thought about that? So this one thing about van life is you're exposed to every element all the time. Every thunderstorm, windy night when the van's like rocking, and not for good reasons rocking just because it's like windy outside. But you're exposed to everything. When it's cold outside, it's cold inside. Oh, your puppy is so cute.
Merry Christmas. She takes a bitchy reaction.
Hi, little one. Oh, look at the tongue in your mouth. You are so cute. Is that you?
Yes.
Oh, that's so cute.
So on behalf of the Mayor and Council, welcome to the city.
Thank
This
you.
is my 27th year.
It's beautiful here.
Thank you.
It's nice to meet you, Santa Claus.
Actually, my brother is named Vincent and he's Ladysmith.
Yeah.
And he also plays Santa.
Oh, does he?
He also drank a gross of eggs to raise money for the March of Dimes back in, I won't say what year in the 70s.
Nice chatting with you.
I'm just glad they didn't have cholesterol testing back then. Hi, Cruz. I'm driving a Cruz.
You're so awesome. I love the randomness of van life. Come on, we're just sitting here and Santa Claus rolls in and wishes us Merry Christmas. Oh, you're so cool. Stuff like that just polishes your day off, and things like that always seem to happen to me all the time. I love this lifestyle, you guys. So the last thing I want is for any of you not to try it because of a voice in your head saying, well, you can't do it in the wintertime. Winter times aren't bad at all. They're actually my favorite time of year in the van. I'm the kind of person that likes to sleep a little cooler at night, so if you are that kind of person that enjoys the fan on or the window open and likes a bit of a chillier room, van life might just be the perfect solution for you to get epic night sleeps all winter long. Please, you guys, go out and try it before you guys convince yourself you don't or you shouldn't or you can't. It's just thoughts in your mind. Go try it. I hate that. Drives me crazy when I see it in the comments. Well, I can't. Yes, you can. Who said you can't? You can do anything. We all know that's such a cliche thing to say, but it's true. We can do anything we want in life. And the only way to find out if it's for you or not is to go do it. And then you'll find out real quick is if van life's for you or it's not for you. And that's going to be your ultimate choosing decision if van life is right or wrong. If you can't suffer and thrive in all different elements, then maybe this lifestyle is not for you. Like summertime, you're gonna have hot days. If you can't suffer your way through it, then maybe the lifestyle is not for you. Wintertime, you're gonna have some cold mornings before your heater gets hot enough to heat your van and make it cozy. If you can't suffer that, then maybe van life is not for you. So get out there, go rent something, do something to find out if it's for you. Take your cargo van out, put your propane heater you bought in it, and just go give it a try. Do it in your car, I don't care. Borrow your grandma's minivan or your neighbor's van or whatever. Go rent one, like I said, like one of those converted ones, which would probably be your best option. Anyway, everybody, I just would like to see all of you just chase the dreams that you want and go do the things you want to do, and don't listen to the voices of others, and especially this voice if it's negative. Let it go. Stop it. It's not needed. Worry about things when they happen, not before they happen. Trust me, your life will be way more happy when you worry about situations when you're in the situation. There's nothing worse than worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. All right, you guys, thanks for watching today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed the randomness of Santa Claus coming to visit. It was super cool having you guys here. My dog's on the prowl right now. I don't know where he's going. Cruzzy, where are you going? Where is he? He's right there. He's on the prowl. Santa Claus also told me that they ran into the friendly buck deer down here, and he said the buck always comes over and just gives the dog a little nudge on the head. So we're gonna stick around here for a little bit. He said it looked like the buck was making the way up the trail. He said the buck is super friendly. It'll come over, say hi, it'll let you touch it, which is super cool. So yeah, that would just kind of make this whole day epic. So we're gonna stick around for that. If you don't see it in the end screen of this video, you know the buck never came to say hi. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.